Boom. Right, so I might do a couple of more intros where I just come into frame because I've done it the last few times and it looks quite good. I'm also moving around a bit more and I'm a bit more energetic because I'm a tad more confident than I was in my last few videos where I was sitting down in like a plain voice, you know, sort of like this. Phone just fell down, so just hold up a quick second while I just... Right, so I'm more energetic because I'm a bit more confident in my videos now. So, you know, I'm going to try and do most videos standing up, being a bit more energetic because I feel like I'll do a bit better. Now, you will notice just behind me here is all blurred out for some reason. That's because there's my collection of boxes that I have there. I am planning on doing a separate video much later in the future when I get like 100 subs or something, where I show you a tour of my box collections. You'll see a couple of them before then, like the unboxings of some games, but that's all of them there. But anyway, this is going to be hopefully my first video that I talk about a game which will get some conversations going about controversy in that, because it's about Batman Arkham Origins and why I love that game. I love that Arkham game. Out of all four of them, out of Asylum, City and Night, Origins is my absolute favourite. I love that game. So it's going to be hopefully a decent video. It is worth mentioning that this is roughly double the length of my normal scripts. They were anywhere between 15 to 1700 words long. This one is 3000 words long. So that should just show how much effort I'm going into it, and from now on I'm going to try and make my scripts anywhere between 2500 to 3000 words, because I feel like they need to be just a little bit better. Now you might be thinking that the reason I love Arkham Origins is because of one of three reasons. One, it was the only Batman game I played, which is not true. Two, it was the first Batman game I played, sort of true. Or three, because I love Assassin's Creed Origins. Now, it's not really any of those. It is the first Batman Arkham game I played, but that's not really to do with it. I am aware that Origins was developed by WB Games Montreal, not WB Games. So the art style, the actors and all that will be different, which obviously they were. But I feel like the actors and the art style, for that time period, the art style specifically, the actors were better than the WB Games actors, in just my opinion, especially the actor of Batman. So as the name suggests, this is more or less an origin story of Batman. So I would assume it would take place a couple of years before the events of Arkham Asylum. Not technically, because it's a different company and that, but theoretically Origins is set before Asylum, obviously. Now I did misread my script earlier. I did say that it was my first Batman game I played. It is, however, incorrect. It is the second Batman game I played, because about a year or so before that, in 2015, I believe, I played Batman Arkham City. So Origins was my second Batman game I played. Then after City, I played Asylum, and then Night, and then I played Arkham Asylum and Arkham City again when they released the remaster of it. From the moment the first cutscene started, I was like, wow, the graphics are so much better, in my opinion, than Arkham City, and that just blew me away. So that is one of the reasons why I love Origins. From the first cutscene, it drew me in, which is what most games, I would assume, desire to do. In the first cutscene, they want to draw you in, get you hooked, and get you to play and finish their game. Truth be told, I also am quite a sucker when it comes to cutscenes. Like, I love my cutscenes. I watch them no matter the length of the cutscenes. The Yakuza games tested that theory with their like half an hour long cutscenes in the beginning and the end, but I watched them all and was never bored. My brother, however, skips all the cutscenes no matter if he's played the game the first time, the second time, the fifth time. He skips them every single time, and that pisses me off and makes me want to punch him. Not really, YouTube. Don't take this video down. Now, I did play Batman Arkham City, like I said before, and I've seen Batman movies and Batman shows, so I know that more or less it mainly revolves around the Joker. So to see Origins, for the first half of the game anyway, take the spin on something and have a focusing around Black Mask and a couple of other villains was a quite good change of pace to see. Because Joker is cool, but if you overdo him, it's just not really that good. So to see Batman Arkham Origins focus a bit more on Black Mask and a couple of other villains before introducing the Joker, I like that. That is also good. That is also one of the other reasons why I love Origins so much, because Joker is great. I love him, but I just feel like you need a break every now and then from Joker. But anyway, you start off in Blackgate Prison, which Black Mask has taken over, and let a lot of inmates loose. So you fight your way through the inmates, Black Mask's men, until you find Black Mask and this massive crocodile creature with the warden of the prison. And they I believe they gas him in like some gas chamber or some shit. So after failing to save the warden, you make your way to the roof to catch Black Mask and the crocodile. Black Mask fucks off in the helicopter and leaves the crocodile there to deal with you. Now, the reason I'm saying the crocodile and not Killer Croc is because from this point you don't know his name. So I'm just calling him the crocodile because it makes sense. But if I refer to him after this video, if I refer to him any more in the script, which I don't think I do, I'll call him Killer Croc. As far as first boss fights go, the Killer Croc one isn't too bad. It's not too hard, not too easy. It's like a sort of... it's bordering on a bit of an easy, because you just dodge, and then you just dodge when he throws propane tanks, defeat the enemies, chuck batarangs at the propane tanks he's holding, and then you damage him. It's not too bad for a first boss fight, but it could have been a tad better. When interrogating Killer Croc, you learn that Black Mask has 8 assassins coming after you, which when I heard that I was like, holy crap, 8 of the bad guys? Oh my god, who will I see? Who will I see? Who will I see? I was so excited because I know there's a couple of villains, like you got Poison Ivy, Deadshot, Deathstroke, the Riddler, which I did fail. My phone fell down again, so fucking hell. I did realise while proofreading the script, I did leave out the Riddler. He's basically the same as in all the other Arkham games, just that side quest who wants you to do some Enigma packs, whatever. So I know a few of the villains, so I was excited to see who on the 8 would be. I know Killer Croc will be one of them, so there'll be 7. Now, if I can find footage of this cutscene on my laptop, because I swear when I got a set of footage of that one and another cutscene later on in the game, my 2 favourite cutscenes, I swear I got footage of them. So if I have found the footage of both cutscenes, I will play them when necessary. Hopefully I do, because boy howdy, they're my 2 favourite cutscenes out of the entire game.
Assassins, sir? As in more than one?
That's right.
And you heard this from the mouth of a crocodile, man?
His name is Killer Croc. He's already behind bars.
Oh, I pity his cellmate.
I don't. Let's see what else is on the drone's hard drive.
Each of them gets one of these envelopes. I need them delivered tonight.
They're all hired killers, the best in the business. Black Mask isn't messing around. Slade Wilson, Deathstroke, former military, subject of a failed medical experiment.
Failed, you say?
Garfield Linz, aka Firefly, burns on 90% of his body. His obsession is going to be his end.
How unlike anyone I know.
Here's a face I don't recognize. Copperhead. Strange. These reports reference a male, not a female.
14 escapes, huh? Well, you won't forget Nada. What the...
Floyd Lawton, aka Deadshot. Says here he's an expert sharpshooter.
How on earth?
Suspected of many assassinations. Dangerous, but reckless. Street tough named Lester Baczynski. Calls himself Electrocutioner.
Shocking.
Shiva. Her skill is unmatched.
For this!
Bane, here in Gotham. Why would he be taking money as a hired killer.
So after that cutscene, you learn that obviously there are 7 assassins left to come after you. The good thing is they're not all part of the story. I believe the only ones that are part of the story are Killer Croc, Bane, Deathstroke, Copperhead, Firefly, and Electrocutioner, which I just realized is most of them. I believe the only other ones part of the side missions is Shiva and Deadshot, from memory of the cutscene, which isn't too bad. I would say it's not too bad, because like you don't have to kill all, you don't have to defeat all 7. You can defeat just the 6 if you want and leave the 2 unattended, but it's up to you. I personally, because I played this game multiple times, I always got 8 assassins plus the Riddler, so that's just me. After learning a few things, you realize that you need to go to a ship that is parked in the Gotham docks that Penguin owns. I cannot for the life of me remember the name of the ship, and I didn't want to research it because I haven't researched anything about Arkham Origins. I'm just, like I say in all my videos, just going off pure memory, which is really testing my brain and gave me a slight headache while I was writing this script yesterday and today. After going to the ship, dealing with the thugs, fighting your way through it, as you always do with Batman, you encounter the Electrocutioner. Haha, menacing for a second boss fight. Well, no, just to go, and that's him down. That was a bit funny. I like that. So that's that one dealt with. So that's 2 dealt with. So once you knock down Electrocutioner, you go to find Penguin. Now, finding Penguin isn't what gets me excited about this section of the game. It is the boss fight that follows after, because oh boy, when I tell you this boss fight is fun, if you haven't played Arkham Origins, fucking play it. Only if you get up to this boss fight, and after you finish this boss fight, if you never touch the game again, I will not care. Encounter this boss fight. You will have fun with this boss fight. If you're a fan of Batman, you will have fun with this boss fight. If you're a fan of fighting games or bosses in general, I guarantee, almost guarantee, that you will love this boss fight. Because while interrogating Penguin, when you've almost interrogated him enough so you can find information, boom, the boss fight happens. Batman gets dragged away from like Penguin with like a freaking rope thing, which you unlock as a new weapon, and you get hung upside down. You get yourself away from the thing to find that it's Deathstroke. My man Slade Wilson, Deathstroke, man with 2 blades. Oh boy howdy. This boss fight, oh my god. I will admit the first 2 times I played this, I did die. Then after that, I used to die deliberately because this boss fight is so fucking cool. It is hard to describe why this boss fight is cool. Out of every single Batman game I've played, this is still my top #1 boss fight. I'm assuming even when Gotham Knights launches, this will still be my top #1 boss fight. I cannot explain why. It's just, oh, I love this boss fight. Every single time I play Batman Arkham Origins, I save right before the boss fight and I just reload that save and I do it again and again and again and again. I never get tired of that boss fight. Now, I know I'm missing a little section of the story between the Slade Wilson boss fight and what I'm about to talk about next. But that's okay, because I feel like it wasn't really important if I didn't remember it. You make your way to Lacey Towers because you got a tip of some murder involving Black Mask. Now, how can this be? Because you saw Black Mask earlier that night and this murder took place a couple of days ago or something. So you deal with the police by like taking them out, because remember, this is the origin story. The police are still after Batman for the vigilante and they want to take him in. So the police are not on your side, so whenever you encounter them, beat them up, you take care of them. Once inside, you see the crime scene and you use your detective skills to try and solve what happened. You learn that the police got a crucial part of the investigation wrong. That man lying on the ground there that looks like Black Mask is not Black Mask. It's a doppelganger or decoy, that's the word, decoy, sent in by Black Mask because he probably assumed that there was someone there waiting to kill him. So there's only the two dead bodies, the Black Mask decoy and some poor chick hanging dead from a chandelier. You reconstruct to some extent what happened, and you learn that the girl was in fact one of Black Mask's girlfriends all the time, because being a criminal you have like 10 girlfriends and like 6 wives or some shit. You're such a playboy. Like, I like those types of bad guys. Not saying being a playboy is good, but I wish I was one of those bad guys because I can't even get one. There was also you also learn that there was a third person in the room sitting at some chair waiting for Black Mask to enter the apartment. There's also signs of a struggle near the table and a bit of a white suit fabric caught on the outside of the door, which obviously is Black Mask's suit. So the Mystery Man and Black Mask had some sort of scuffle. The Mystery Man won and dragged Black Mask out of there because you found the scuffles of his shoes from the drag marks. Lastly, you learn that the chick was texting Black Mask because she was afraid of someone called the Joker. I was like, cool, the Joker. Okay, so he's not really a major part of the story. That is good. I wonder when he's going to come in and what he'll do, because he's not really the main part. Black Mask is the main guy, so what's he going to do? I was quite excited for this. But you are missing some key elements to fully understand what happened and fully reconstruct the crime scene. The only place you can do that is at the GCPD database. So you need to infiltrate the GCPD and go down to the sewers, to their servers, and access their servers. This is where you meet Barbara Gordon for the first time. She's not too bad. Obviously this is set early on, so she's still walking. She's not paralyzed yet. So to see her walking was like, oh, I'm not used to seeing you walking. Oh god. Barbara is good. I like that. The section with the GCPD and having to stealthily make your way through it is fine. I like that. It's not too challenging, but it's not too easy. Well, it can be too easy if you're like me with the Batman games, which I will explain later at the end. Once at the servers, you find out what really happened with the murder. Now, this is the second cutscene I was talking about where I love this cutscene. So if I could find that footage, I will play that for you now.
By now, Gotham PD thinks Roman Sionis is dead. The casualty of a turf war. Murdered by the Penguin. But I know better. Someone spooked Sionis' girlfriend, so he sent her to his safe house, which was anything but safe. Sionis showed up later, ready for trouble, and found it. Or so it seemed. Roman's always been paranoid. That's probably why he's lasted this long. He'd sent in a decoy, giving himself the element of surprise. But it wasn't enough. There was a fight. Sionis lost. The killer didn't hesitate to shoot the decoy, but he wanted Roman alive to access the cash stored at the Gotham Merchants Bank. With Sionis under control, all that remained was to tie up loose ends. But it wasn't the fire that killed Sionis' girlfriend. What kind of monster forces a man to kill the ones he loves? The Joker. He's the shadow I've been chasing. And now I know where he's going next. Gotham Merchants Bank.
Hopefully I played that footage for you, and hopefully you enjoyed that footage as well. Now, the next two parts of the story I'm going to talk about, I cannot remember which order they go in. I'm going to talk about the bit with the bank, and the bit with the bridge and Firefly. I cannot remember if it's the bridge then the bank, or the bank then the bridge. I always get those two mixed up when I replay the game. So I'm just going to go with the assumption, well, not assumption really, I'm just going to start off with the bridge because I want to save the bank for the other one, because that's a whoa moment. So I believe Alfred tells you that there's a fire on the Gotham Bridge and that Firefly is obviously the culprit. So you're like, cool. Number 3, because Electrocutioner wasn't really gone. He absconded from the crime scene, so this is your next target to take down, Firefly. Now, the boss fight of Firefly was more or less the same as Killer Croc, but I feel slightly worse done. It's one of the things where you do the exact same thing like 3 or 4 times, just varying a little bit. But I do not like that boss fight in the slightest because of how boring it actually is. You also, I think slightly before the Firefly fight on the bridge, you encounter Captain Gordon. He isn't too happy with you. He wants you to not be there, but you want to help, and there's people trapped. So Gordon gets distracted and you go away to save those hostages before the Firefly fight, and it's just so good that they did the good thing with having Gordon and Batman still not liking each other, but Batman still choosing to do the right thing. Then after the bridge, or before the bridge, there is an alarm going off the Gotham Bank, and the suspect is Black Mask because I think security cameras saw him enter or something, I can't remember. So you make your way through Black Mask's goons. I'm not going to say this all the time because it's basically anything that happens with any building you enter, you got to deal with goons. Nothing really exciting. You enter the vault to get one of the biggest, oh my fucking god, what the hell moments of at least the Batman Arkham games. Because you see Black Mask, you got his goons and some poor chick with someone kneeled down on the ground with some bag over his head who's dressed exactly like Black Mask. And it's like, oh, okay then. Black Mask talks to you, blah blah blah. Goes, takes the bag off the guy's head. Oh my god, that's Romus Honest, that's Black Mask. Who the fuck is them Black Mask? Who's been pretending to be Black Mask for the past couple of days? Turns around, takes the mask off. It's Joker! Oh my god, I didn't quite see that coming. What I mean by I didn't quite see it coming was I knew that there was going to be a big Joker reveal somewhere. I just didn't know when or how or what he was going to be revealing. To see him pretending to be Black Mask was holy fucking shit. Wow. So now I do realise that for the last half of the game the focus is on Joker, which is fine, because at least you had that first half of the game break from Joker where you're focusing on Black Mask. That's cool. So you talk for a bit, Batman realises Joker is a bit, and then he does some laughing gas thing to this poor woman, chucks her with you, and she dies of laughter or some shit. And that's that. I know I also might be missing some bits between this part and what I'm about to talk to you through next. But like I said before, if it's not that important for me to remember it, it's probably not that important anyways. It's the bit with the hotel. I cannot remember the name of the hotel. All I know is it's got a bomb in it, and all the other people are up there. Joker, Bane, Electrocutioner, all that stuff is up there. Now this hotel bit is a quite lengthy section. It can take you anywhere between 25 to 40 minutes, depending if you like to stealth and take things slow, or if you just like to go in there, Batman running, fist swinging, dodging all the bullets, looking cool. I believe this is also where you might meet the first of Bane's henchmen, if I remember correctly, which obviously Bane's henchmen, they're a lot harder to take down, so it's best to clear the room with everyone else, then go after Bane's henchmen when they're alone, because you need to land I think 3 times the amount of punches on them than you do on regular henchmen, obviously. Also, if I remember correctly, this is where you encounter signal jammers. It could be slightly before, maybe in the bank, I cannot remember. But signal jammers, if I am remembering correctly and not thinking of Batman Arkham City, they have the backpacks and stuff, And when you try to use your detective vision to see where they are, you just get static. So until you take out the guy and destroy the jammer, it's harder to see where the enemies are. I do realise that while writing the script, I forgot to mention an important part of the penthouse. I think it's slightly before you get into the hotel, or when you're halfway through the hotel or something. But I think Bane and Electrocution have some sort of disagreement, and Bane like pushes Electrocution out the window and falls to his death right next to you. So you're just like, "Ooh, electric gloves. Pick them up, I'll put them on and I'll use them. Electricity, baby." So you can use them for story important bits where you need to like charge up some like electric that won't work, like an elevator or something, so you just charge them up. Or the way you charge them up in combat is you just punch enemies like normal, and then when they're charged up enough you can activate them, and then obviously it'll deplete over time, but when they're activated you can deal a bit more extra damage to enemies. It also majorly helps in the Bane boss fights afterwards. I believe it's while you're walking through somewhere or in an elevator or something, Bane like breaks through and like pulls you down to like some library type area, I want to say, because there's like lots of bookshelves around. And it's the first of the 3 or 4 boss fights with Bane. The Bane boss fights are a lot harder than the other boss fights because you're obviously just starting out, so you're weak. Bane's like super strong type thing. They're just challenging enough that they're not annoying, but that if you're playing this game for the first time, you might die once or twice. I personally died about 3 times. That's just because I'm a dumbass. It's just another boss fight where he's not alone. He's got henchmen to help him, so you need to deal with that extra bit of annoyance. But I feel like the henchmen in that section provided somewhat of a use, because you use the henchmen to charge up your gloves and then activate the electric gloves to deal a bit of extra damage to Bane. So in that sense, I normally hate boss fights that have henchmen along with the boss, but in this section they make a bit of sense actually. Once the boss fight goes to outside, that's obviously when the henchmen start to appear. Sorry, I read the script wrong. And a news helicopter comes up and films the fight between you and Bane. But then, out of nowhere, another helicopter comes in. And it's Joker on the helicopter. Oh my god, it's the green-haired man himself, the Joker. Wow, how you been, buddy? Yeah. Oh, so he just comes in the helicopter with a fucking rocket launcher and boom, fucking blows out the news helicopter out of the sky. And holy shit. Like, what the hell? I think he also might shoot at you sometimes with the boss fight. I cannot remember. But the boss fight ends not by you defeating Bane. Obviously, you fight him, I think, twice more. Yeah, twice more from memory, from what I've written in the script anyway. So Bane, because Joker's getting impatient, so he tells Bane to hurry up or he'll leave without him. So Bane hops onto the helicopter. But as Bane's jumping, you fucking yeet some sort of tracker onto the back of him so you can follow him to see where his hideout is. Or some such, I think. So you do find out where Bane hides out or lives, more or less. It's underground somewhere. But what you find there is quite disturbing. 3 things, in fact. 1, he found the tracker, so he's removed it and just placed it on the desk. As a such of a, ha ha ha, I'm not as dumb as you think, Batman. Number 2, he's working on some sort of stronger venom, TN1 Titan, to inject it himself and make himself like bigger and stronger to hopefully kill you once and for all. And 3, the most possible what the actual fuck were they thinking moment. Bane has figured out that Bruce Wayne is Batman. You heard me. Somehow Bane, who's someone like me, a bit dumb, has figured out who Batman is, but someone as smart as the Riddler has not. Sure, you could use the argument, oh well, you can't, it's one of those things where if you think about it too hard or if you're too smart, you can't figure it out. I'm going to choose to go with that sort of answer to the question, but really, like, I don't understand what they were thinking, and they realize they fucked up. So at the end of the game, they fixed it. You immediately get out of there, call in your Batwing, and start to light speed warp it to the Batcave to warn Alfred. You try to call Alfred while on the Batwing, but all you see is just Bane. He's found your Batcave, he's done something to Alfred. Holy shit. Obviously he doesn't kill Alfred because it's an origin story, so it wasn't too bad, but he could have seriously hurt Alfred, which he fucking did. So you go into the Batcave, you see the Batcave as an absolute mess. There's things thrown around, things are broken everywhere, it's complete and utter chaos. You try and find Alfred, you find Alfred down on the ground, like under rocks, unconscious, flatlined. You're thinking, holy shit, wow. So Batman uses the smart idea of charging up his electric gloves to give him a couple of good pounds on the chest to act as I think it's called a defibrillator, the thing that starts your heart. Lo and behold, of course he does, because Alfred doesn't die, but holy crap. You then get news reports that Joker and Bane have taken over Blackgate Prison. So you're going back to where it all started, Blackgate Prison. And they've also taken Captain Gordon hostage. So Batman's like, oh, well, I mean, I know we don't get along, but he's still a police officer and I still do the right thing, so I gotta save him. At least this time when you go back to the prison, it's not the exact same as before. There's a bit more access to the prison, like you can explore a bit more, obviously, because they're in a slightly different section. They're in like the inside yard. I cannot remember the proper name for it, but it's like bit where you got the cells all around, and it's like the 2 stories, and you got like the tables where you eat stuff. They're in that section. When you get to there, I cannot quite exactly remember what happens. All I know is that Joker is hooked up to an electric chair, as well as Gordon in another seat, and something about you need to kill Bane, so stop his heart to not get them electrocuted or some shit. Because Bane's got like this monitor attached in, like heart rate, so you need to like kill Bane. And you're like, no, I won't kill him. And the Joker's like, oh, that's a bit of a shame, just do it anyway. So then Bane comes down, you have your boss fight because you need to kill Bane, and Bane won't stop until you kill him. But Batman can't kill him because that's his motto, he does not kill.